Hello guys, so today I want to share with you 10 fragrances that I consider to be the best designer fragrances of all of the fragrances that were launched in 2023. Now these 10 fragrances are not the only ones that I picked up this year, but they certainly made this list because when I first smelled them, I either really fell in love with them or liked them and then fell madly in love with them. Also because they give you like the complete experience. When you put them on, they take you on a journey. And last but not least, of course, performance and how many compliments do I get when I wear them. But before we get started, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi, and in this channel, we love to talk about fragrances, makeup, and fashion. If that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment below. Okay, let's go. So the first fragrance that I want to talk about is one that I have a full review for here on my channel, and I will link the video right up there. And this fragrance is from, of course, one of my favorite fragrance houses, which is Guerlain. And of course, guys, you know that I'm talking about Tobacco Honey. This is a beautiful honey-based fragrance. The honey here is done perfectly. We have here some tonka, tobacco, vanilla, cloves, and of course, all in the base, we have the most beautifully smooth oud. Have you tried tobacco honey? Have you gotten your nose on it? Let me know what you think. I am very curious. The next fragrance on my list is another one that if you've been watching my videos will not come as a surprise. It is Dolce & Gabbana Devotion. Now this fragrance is definitely a gourmand, and like I've mentioned before, I am absolutely in love with this fragrance. Look guys, and you guys know that this was launched towards the end of 2023, but I love this fragrance. This to me is definitely like a lemon butter pound cake that has been glazed and then drizzled with like some powdered sugar. Like whenever I smell this, that's what I get. And I love how this performs. This next fragrance has also been a part of, I think, one of my videos in the past, but I am still obsessed with this fragrance and I absolutely love it. So this is from Brunello Cucinelli, and this is Pour Femme. This is a citrus woody fragrance that's a little bit sweet and has a powdery quality to it. It is extremely elegant, and it will get you a ton of compliments. Let me know if you've gotten your nose on this fragrance, and if you have, let me know what you think about it. The next fragrance I've also discussed on my channel, and I am still loving this fragrance. This is such an easy reach fragrance. You can use it for casual occasions, for evening, for night. It is just an absolutely beautiful fragrance, and honestly guys, I think that you can use this all year round. So I am talking about Burberry Goddess. Burberry Goddess is an aromatic fragrance, but I think that the game changer in this fragrance, what really makes this fragrance so special, is a very peculiar note of lavender. Lavender is done here beautifully. And this fragrance, I wouldn't say is groundbreaking, but it's not just any designer common fragrance. It is truly a beautiful fragrance and my favorite within the entire Burberry range. The next fragrance on my list is from the House of Chloe, and it is Nomade Jasmine Naturel Intense. This fragrance is a floral fruity fragrance that is definitely sweet, not crazy sweet, but definitely sweet. It has some white florals and it has a hint of woodiness. At the dry down, you get the most beautiful vanilla with like a creamy sandalwood. This is a fragrance that you can use all year round, and I honestly think that this is one of those fragrances that you could even make a signature scent. The next two fragrances are from the same designer, and it is from Tom Ford. The first fragrance that I want to talk about is Cherry Smoke. This is an amber spicy fragrance with some wood notes, some leather, of course cherry, but the cherry is not syrupy or crazy sweet. It is like a sour cherry, and I just think it makes for a very interesting and different type of fragrance. I'm not going to say that it is groundbreaking. I do have other cherry fragrances in my collection that give me the same vibe, but this one definitely stands out because the level of smokiness in here is quite prominent. Some people do say that it competes with the cherry, but I just think they balance each other out really well, giving this fragrance quite a bit of character. The next fragrance on my list that I also said would be from Tom Ford, and which is actually my favorite Tom Ford launch of this year, is MYRRHE Mystery. This is my favorite MYRRHE fragrance for 2023, and it may have taken over the top spot within my MYRRHE fragrances collection. I absolutely love the note of myrrh, and I find that this fragrance is quite sexy. This is an amber woody fragrance that is warm and spicy. Of course, the note of myrrh is quite prominent, so you have to like myrrh. There's also some vanilla. There's also like a balsamic quality to this fragrance. The next fragrance is Donna Born in Roma Intense. This is an amber floral fragrance for women that has quite a bit of vanilla. It also brings a bit of warmth and spiciness. You get quite a bit of white florals, and at the dry down is powdery, but it is a beautiful fragrance. And this fragrance, guys, it is so, so beautiful. I think it is perfect for date night, but that doesn't mean that you can't use it for other occasions. I just think that this is a pretty sexy fragrance. This next fragrance is the 2023 flanker release for a very known fragrance from the house of Dior. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm talking about Dior Jodor L'Or. Now this fragrance, guys, I really love it. And I know there's been to a certain extent some mixed reviews because this is definitely a floral fragrance and it's all about those white florals. But I think this fragrance, this flanker has been done exceptionally. This is a fragrance that even though it's all about those white florals, it's very fresh. And even though it's fresh, I really think that you can get away with using it all year round. I've also started to play with layering this fragrance, which I'll come out with a video on layering different fragrances, but this is a very versatile fragrance. This next fragrance has also appeared in a couple of my videos, and I am absolutely head over heels loving it. I know that not everybody agrees with me on that one, but I really, really think this is an exceptional fragrance. And I am talking about the latest flanker from Jean Paul Gaultier, and this is Divine. This fragrance is an amber floral fragrance where we find quite a bit of white florals. It does open with a good amount of white florals. So if you're not into floral fragrances, and worse yet, if you're not into white florals, I would not even get my nose on it because you're really not gonna like it. But if you're into a good floral fragrance, give this fragrance a shot. It has some white florals, but it has like an aquatic quality to it that makes it really, really interesting. At the dry down, I find it to be quite powdery, and there's also a mix of white floral. This is a fragrance that you can use all year round, and it is a fragrance that you can pull for any occasion. It does very well during the day, and it does very well during the night. It's also a high compliment getter. All right, guys, so those were the 10 fragrances that I definitely think were the very best of designer for 2023. Let me know in the comments below. Have you tried any of those fragrances? What has been your experience? Do you agree with me or do you disagree? Do you have a fragrance that was not on this list that you think should have been on this list? Maybe I'll give it a shot if I haven't yet. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.